Anyway, let's just get on with it, and I hope you can bear with me on this sinking thing. As I said, I'm happy to share whatever I know about being a crafting YouTuber. Clearly not to do with my live streaming, because this is all very much a learning curve. Yeah, I'm not an expert on YouTube either. I've learned an awful lot in the just under 2 years that I've been doing it, and I did keep getting. Oh, thanks, Drew Paul. I do keep getting lots of questions. Now, people seem to think I'm some sort of expert. I'm really, really not. I'm still very much learning, and I'm learning from most of you lot that I chat to all the time as well. But like I said, happy to share whatever I do know. Now, I've pulled together today a little bit more organised than I normally do, other than I should have checked the camera first, but other than that, and the sound. But that is proof that, as I say, I'm no expert. Now, the questions that I asked you a question about a month ago on my community tab. And I said, what in particular do you guys want to know? Because I keep getting these questions coming at me from, all over the place. But could you be specific? Just tell me what you want to know and I'll put something together. So here we go. In fact, I think quite a lot of you who asked those questions are in the chat here. So what I would say is put any more questions that you might have into chat for me. And if you will try to draw my attention to those questions by putting, I'm just trying to sort my chat out. There we go. By putting a big Q at the start of it, so I know there's a question coming. That would be really helpful. Thank you. Right, Adele. Adele's in the house, I believe. Adele raised I think the first question on my on that thread I put on my community tab. This is all thrown me. Can you tell my brain's gone off at a tangent? I'll get sorted in a minute. Adele's question was the first one. And Adele asked, what made you decide on the crafts that you do? Well, Adele, I go through lots and lots of fads. Mark will tell you this. My fads tend to last at least a couple of years, sometimes more. Car fad is still going, but the really strength of it lasted. Yeah, Deb. The real big fad of the car thing lasted like 10 years or more. So this is kind of just what I do. Now, I've been doing resin as part of the helping my dad with his model railway. Some of you may have seen my little waterfalls and things like that I discovered I could do. Well, the water is resin. So I was familiar with epoxy resin, and I was also using not polyurethane, what's the other one? Polyester resin, which is really horrible stuff. Drew, Paul, epoxy is resin. Resin is epoxy. Epoxy resin is a type of resin. You get polyurethane resin as well. You get polyester resin. You get ultraviolet curing resin. But the one that most of us use a lot is epoxy resin. So yes, it's a type of resin. That helps. Now, so I've gone through fads. Now, during lockdown, I was watching a lot of YouTube like most of us, and I'd seen Daniel Cooper doing his Petri effects, Steve McDonald being all excited about his crafting, Juliet pouring your heart out, doing those amazing blooms and all that sort of thing. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to go for this. So that was it. That was just how I chose the niche of crafting in particular that I was going to go for, and I absolutely love it. As you can see by all the amount of stuff behind me, I've got a whole room now that's just resin stuff. It's a bit mad. I've got a couple of questions come in, so before I move on to the next one, let's pick all those up. So how many of us are neurospicy? Not sure, Lisa. Bev is making me wonder. I listen to her, so maybe I am. We shall see. I'm going to try and find out at some point. How did I get into the relationship with Into Resin? Oh, they reached out to me and just said, would you like to be an affiliate? I'm going to do a whole video on affiliates at some point, because there's various different ways that you can get these arrangements. So I will actually put a video out on that, because Sandy, that's a very good question. I will cover that properly at some point, but in particularly that firm, they did reach out to me. Julia asks what length of videos are best. Video, it depends what you're trying to do. Videos over 8 minutes are the ones that monetize properly because you can get the AdSense running on them. Anything under that, they can't put adverts in the middle of. So over 8 minutes, if you're doing long format, is the way to go. But I always think anything really, it takes as long as it takes to tell the story without any big gaps and boring dull bits, or without rushing it and cutting out important bits. So as long as it takes. Mine tend to be around half an hour, but sometimes they're only 20 minutes. Some, as you may have noticed, some of them are 2 hours. I actually get my best watch hours on 2-hour ones, and I've even done nearly an hour long live premiere, and everybody stayed. I did say you didn't have to. I thought some of you might only stay to be polite. So, but everybody stayed. I was amazed. So the message with that really is as long as it takes to either demonstrate the thing or to tell the story without rushing it or padding it out or leaving long boring gaps in it. So as long as it takes. Good question. Kim wants to know, is it okay to use UV resin to start with for the dainty detail and finish with epoxy? Yeah, you can actually, as long as you let the UV resin cure properly, or if you do it the other way around, let the epoxy cure properly. So whichever you use first, let it cure properly before you use the other one. The raindrop technique you may have seen a lot on YouTube over the last year, that is done with UV resin first, then epoxy on top. So yes, you absolutely can. Editing software. I use CapCut. Find it really easy to use. The free version. This is all aboard resin creations question. Sorry. Yeah, CapCut, I found it really easy to use, and even the free version has got a whole load of great features in it. I've now got the paid for version because I wanted even more, but yeah, CapCut's awesome. And I edit on my laptop. I tried doing it on my phone and my iPad mini, far too fiddly for me and my nails. So I just load it all up onto my laptop now. So much easier for me, I find. Gert thinks she is. Probably Gert. You're too interesting to be like a standard person, Gert. See you, Tim. What else we got? Yes, yes, Deb. I think you're probably right. You figured I knew. No, I've only been wondering recently, to be honest. I am more creative in the evening. I'm also an evening person generally. I could sleep all morning quite easily. Let me see. Yeah, John's on holiday. Right, I think I've caught up the questions. Apologies if I've missed any. Just again, stick Q and then the question into chat, and I'll pause every so often and just dive in, see what else we've got coming up in the chat there. Bit more on that question from Adele about choosing my topic. I have found that I want to do other crafts and, well, the creative things, let's say, as well. My current fad on that is making terrariums and playing with my X tool and my Cricut machine. So, you know, this is how I ended up with 2 channels, because obviously those things don't naturally fit on my main mini scenes channel. Now, if they did, and I thought, oh yeah, that's like an offshoot, or the same audience might like this, then I would have put it on the same channel. However, it didn't really. I tried it and it didn't work. So I set up that separate channel for those sort of things, which I don't take terribly seriously. If I just happen to be doing something interesting, I slap it on there. And the third channel, which is one I really want to try and get monetized, the Life of an Older YouTuber, which some of you may be watching on, that was simply because I found there was things happening that I wanted to talk about a bit more seriously, but also have a bit of fun with. And so that's how that channel popped up. Right, we've got some more questions coming in. I hope that's answered Adele's question well. The music in CapCut. Don't use any music in any of the editing software that are out there, is my advice. Having a quick drink here. This isn't wine, by the way. It's cranberry juice, honestly. And the reason for that is it might be copyright free when you initially use it, but 2 years down the line, it can suddenly ping up and say it's not anymore, because it depends on what the creator of the music does. So don't use it. I would suggest your best plan is to either go to Nick Nimin's site. I'll find the link for it and put it in the video description after this video, after this live. Nick Nimin, as many of you may know, is a real guru of YouTube. He's amazing. And he's also created this site where he loves music. So he's made a load of music and it's there for us to grab free and just use. He'll appreciate it if we put him a thank you in a credit. But other than that, completely free for us to use. Epidemic Sounds is one that you can join and subscribe to. That's where a lot of the big creators get their music from. I did for a while. More recently, I've been making my own with Suno AI. Now, Suno AI, like many of these AI creation things, if you've got a free plan, they own the rights to it. You can use it to your heart's content, but it's not protected just for you. You don't own the rights yourself, which means anybody else can pinch it. I've now got a paid for version, which means that I own the rights to any music I create using Suno and share it with my friends. So there you go. That's the answer on that one. I've been getting copyright triggers pop up and videos demonetized from 2 years ago recently when I was using iMovie and one of the earliest ones from CapCut. So I think the same applies to all video editing software. Don't rely on it, because it does depend very much what the creator does. Right, that was the music one. How long have you been in YouTube before you're monetized? 4 months, Wendy. I posted up a video on my channel like a few months before, just because somebody wanted to have a look at one of my waterfalls before they bought it. So if you don't count that, because that was just like a random post, really, I only started around, was it November, December-ish, which is before Christmas. And by early April, I'd monetized. So around 4 months. Is it important to be ranked on Google? No idea. I don't even look, Julia, to be honest. Google owns YouTube, so it must be linked. But it's all part of these algorithm things. The thing we need to do though is stop thinking about. Hi, Natalie. Stop thinking about algorithms. I never think about the algorithm. If you watch a lot of these big YouTube gurus, they say replace the word algorithm with audience, because all the algorithm is doing, be it the Google one, be it the YouTube one, any algorithm, it's looking to serve up what the audience wants. So it tries to understand audience behavior. Now, that audience behavior will then lead YouTube to go, oh, they've watched this and this and this before. I bet they'd like that, and serve it up to them. So if you're thinking about your audience and what they want, answering their questions, serving up the sort of things that they're looking for, rather than thinking what the algorithm might like, that works a lot better. I switched my tactic to doing that quite some time ago, and things really started to boost. I thought I was doing that before, but I really wasn't. I was too busy getting bogged down with what all these so-called experts were saying about algorithms and things. And when I found the ones that really did seem to know what they were talking about and switched that tactic, it really started to boost. So I have no idea about Google ranking. I don't even, because the second biggest search engine in the world after Google is YouTube. So let's face it, if you're going to look up how to make a resin thing or whatever, it's YouTube you'd go to. So that's the only one I worry about. And the way to do that is thinking about your audience first. I hope that answers the question. Sandy, cutting tool and stuff. I think you asked about that, didn't you? I'm totally not an expert on my Cricut machine or my X tool. I don't use them that much. They will pop up from time to time on my videos, because I do use them in conjunction with my resin. In fact, here's one coming up soon. Cut this recently. That's going to be one hell of a stained glass window type thing, isn't it? But I'm not going to be putting out tutorials on it, because I'm not in a position to do that. There's a lot of other tutorials out there already that are very, very good, but you will see them pop up from time to time on my channel, which I think answers the question later on my list, which may have been Sandy that asked that. I'm not sure. Where are we? Love all the chat that's going on. First pour. Oh, floods. Ooh, hi, Susie. John's taken his sketch pad on holiday. I end up doing things like that. Can't get your craft fixed otherwise, can you? Kim, will you let newbies join the collaboration? Yeah, absolutely. The more the better. In the last one, the the previous one, we've had the horror one that April and her friends organised, haven't we, since? But the one before that, the autumn one, we had at least two that it was their first ever video. Definitely, you're absolutely in. Just let us know if you need any help getting set up and with what to do. Hopefully my video is explanatory, but it does, but I've told you all about it, but it does kind of need you to understand what we mean by setting these up as a premiere and stuff like that. So some of it you probably, as a newbie, you possibly wouldn't know what I was talking about. So just give us a shout and we'll sort you out. Deb, not wine. No, simply because I'm trying to drink a bit less. I seem to spend every night drunk lately, which isn't good when you're working evenings, is it? Sandy wants to know more about Suno AI music paid plan. Yeah, Suno AI is suno.com, I think is the name of the channel. Basically, you just sign up for either a free account or the paid one. With a free one, you get only so many generations of music a day. With a paid one, I can do like tons. And what you do is you just type in a song. For the Halloween one, I put a comedy, retro, horror film, theme tune, tick the instrumental box, and it generated about 20 until I found one I liked. It just makes them for you, and they're usually a couple of minutes long. And that's what you do. It's as simple as that. Does that answer what you wanted to know, Sandy? If not, let me know and I'll come back to it. Easiest way to put the clocks in. Susie, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Can you elaborate a bit and we'll come back to you? Some horrible health issues going on. I'm so sorry to hear that, everyone, with terrible health issues. Miss Tracy White, you miss what my second channel is? Oh, there's three. I need to take that third one more seriously. The second one is Tracy's random stuff, and it's got terrariums, it's got cars, it's got pets, including creepy crawlies, anything that doesn't fit anywhere else. And then Tracy Lippett, Life of an Older YouTuber, is the third one that I do need to take more seriously. I do want to. It's making time when I'm too busy having fun crafting. Paid promotions worth? Good question, all aboard. It varies dramatically. For crafting channels, oh, hang on a minute. What do you mean paid promotions? There's different ways of looking at this. You know, we have to tick that paid promotion box. You'll see that little thing pops up in the corner of the screen up here when you start a video, and it says paid promotion. Now, I have to tick that because people send me free stuff. Now, recently, Let's Resin have sent me over £100 worth of debubbling machine free. That is a paid promotion. Sometimes it might just be a couple of moulds. I dread to think how much all those crystal moulds that Into Resin sent me are worth, but those are paid promotions. So it can be anything from, I know some people have got affiliate relationships with BB Craft and their stuff's very economical, through to really expensive stuff. So it's quite a hard question to answer because it could be anything. But it also could be you've got a sponsored video where a firm, and I haven't had any of these yet, where a firm has said, we'll give you X amount to make a video and put this advert in for us. Now, the price that commands will depend very much on your standing. I mean, I haven't even had one yet. If somebody approached me, I'd have to pitch it cheap because I'm small fry. Whereas if one of the big silver play button channels get offered one of those, I'd imagine they charge quite a decent price for it. So again, that will vary a lot as well. And then, of course, there's your ad revenue and the commissions that you get on if people buy things that they've seen you use on your channel. There's lots of income streams come from YouTube. And again, this is something else I want to do a video on for you properly at some point. But the actual paid promotions is anything that we're either getting free or paid to put onto our YouTube channel. And that's when you'll see that little message come up at the top of the screen here. And it varies from next to nothing to it could be thousands if you're a really big YouTuber. Like I said, I'm not big enough to have been offered a sponsored one yet. And the stuff I get sent varies. The biggest thing I've been sent so far is that blooming X tool. That was over £1,000 worth, which is insane to me. I was grateful. I'm so grateful for all of it. Does that answer your question, all aboard? I'm sorry if it's a bit vague, but it does vary wildly. People trying to cut back on booze and not go insane. Just reading down the chat here. Gosh, you lot are great. Not seeing any more questions at the moment. Forgive me if I miss one while I'm answering one. It's really hard to keep the tabs on the chat as well. So if I've missed you, please do put a Q and then your question down in the chat. Am I synced up now, by the way? Because at my end, I'm now not. So I hope so. Just trying to check to see if I haven't missed any. More videos on mold making. Yeah, sure. To be honest, I've got a load of mold making coming up, so everything I do, I will video it for you, definitely. If you can let me know what that was, Smarty. Smarty, drop me a line on Discord and let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to see me make. I'm going to have a go at a 2-part mold soon. If there's anything else, let me know and I'll see if I'll add it to my list. How are we doing? The option to promote a video you've uploaded. Oh, that. I tested it recently with £75 worth of credit. I did get about another 200 subscribers purely off the video I promoted, but I don't know how many I would have got off that video anyway, so it's hard to say. It's a costly exercise. I did it as am I still not synced? I'm not at my end either now, Deb, so I feel your pain. Sorry. Yeah, so I don't know how much it was really worth doing it. I thought I'd try it and see what happened. But I thought it also coincided with me clearing that 10,000 subscribers, and it's sort of skyrocketed a lot since then. I've been getting something between 2 and 3 times the amount of new subscribers daily to what I was getting before, which is something to do with having hit 10,000, because people are now looking at it and going, she must be good, she's got 10,000 subscribers. And more people are clicking on me. So it's hard to know, really. It wasn't a very good controlled experiment to see how much the actual paid promotion thing, the promotions, how much difference it made. I'm pretty sure it made a difference. Whether it was worth the money, I honestly don't know, really. Time will tell, I suppose. Still out of sync. Oh. Lifted stuff. Don't know what Chloe's talking about there, sorry. Best way to get watch time, Julia, is try and make your videos as interesting as possible. It's as simple as that. Cut out any gaps so it keeps moving, but equally don't rush it. Try to keep it engaging. I found when I experimented with 2 different camera angles in the same video, that helped. Trouble is, it's a bit of a logistical nightmare, and in editing it's a real faff, but it definitely helped. I find if I get over a third of my video watch time, hi Malula. Yeah, I think if over a third of my video has been watched, I'm quite happy. I thought that was terrible at first, but I think what people do is they watch the video and they say, oh, I can see what she's doing. Oh, let me just skip to where the end is and see the finished thing. Whereas there'll be some people who'll just go, "Oh, this is quite nice watching it all the way through and seeing the process." So you just have to accept that people watch in different ways. But yeah, making it as engaging as you can, trying to keep their interest is something I'm constantly working on. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. But yeah, that's what it is, and that is it's quite a trick. Hope that answers your question there, Julia. Still out of sync. Yeah, sorry. Suno AI paid subscription. Yeah, if you're that's a good question, Sandy. If you're using any AI generated stuff of any sort, you just need to tick the box that says you're using altered content when you upload it. You know, as you upload your video, there's a whole load of things come up like, is it made for children and all that sort of thing that you need to tick. There's one about altered content, and anything that's been done using AI, you have to tick that box. People kept asking me where I got the music, so I just put it down in the bottom of the video description that one of the songs I use was written for me by a real professional musician, and the rest are from Suno AI. That's what I've done. But other than ticking that box, I think that's the only thing you're actually obliged to do. Where are we? I was thinking of doing it to get to the 1,000 subs. I wouldn't. You might not get the right sort of subscribers all aboard. I would just focus on your audience and keeping it going, because what might happen is you'll get the wrong sort of subscribers and then they'll all drop off again, and you'll be all over the place, and you'll end up with lower click-through rates and lower watch hours. So I think, having experimented it myself, the cost, I don't know if it was really worth it. I think you would get more benefit by just plugging on and just working on improving constantly your videos, and just, you know, getting yourself out there and just sticking with it. How many hours a day do you need to, hi Zoe, how many hours a day do you need to make a video? How supportive is your family? There's a lot of questions here, Zoe. Anybody else who put questions on my list from before, by the way, I have still got the list here. I will come back to them. How many hours a day do you need to make a video? How supportive of your family? How much space do you have to work in? My workspace is the spare bedroom for my main channel. My other channels could be anywhere. It could be the kitchen, or it could be out and about, but it's just the spare bedroom in my house. This is it behind me. It's quite small, but I know a lot more space than a lot of people have, so I'm quite lucky. Hours a day. At the moment, I'm working something like 12-hour days and upwards, because I'm still going at it like a maniac, to be honest, and I am pretty much full-time, other than a couple of days here and there a month helping out at a museum. Mark's very supportive. He bought me these bookshelves, these ones here, in fact. Laughed at me when I bought the frog. Which way is it? That way, the frog light. He's very supportive, thankfully. And there is only Mark, so I don't have kids to worry about. And I am retired, so that has made life a lot easier. I could really focus on it. Welcome back, David. Does that answer your question, Zoe? I hope so. If not, shout up. Do you use Suno AI for music? Yes, David, we've just been discussing that. I definitely do. What else we got? I done all aboard has asked another one. I've done a few videos where I'm talking as I do it, but I don't like doing that. Does it affect the views? No. I won't play music all over my video unless I'm doing it for comedy effect, because people moaned like hell, and my view rate, my retention rate dropped really badly, even though I did it very quietly. People just seem to find it annoying. So I don't put music actually over it unless it's over a bit I'm fast forwarding, or the bit at the end, or for a comedy moment or something. I tried to do a voiceover on a video once and I hated it. But I think it's each to their own. Claire's Crafty Corner does voiceover. Wendy at Toompish Crafts does voiceover. Conversely, Pouring Your Heart Out, to a great extent, Steve McDonald, Daniel Cooper, they all do it live like I do. So do whatever suits you, I would say. I don't think there's a right or wrong to it. So if you don't like talking live while you're doing it, then don't. do it the other way. It's fine. I do, as you've probably noticed, I can talk for England, so I kind of just do it. And it also saves an extra step, because if you could record a voiceover, that's more time involved, of course. Hi, Pecan. Hi, Artisan. How are we doing? Are there any more questions for a minute, or shall I go back to my list? How do I deal with the horrible people? Is the next question. Julia has asked that, and I think somebody else asked me this before. Who was it asked me that before? Susie, as in Miniaques, if that's how you'd say it, asked this about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I guess it's part of that. Julia, as you know only too well, it's difficult. Julia and I talk a lot. She knows this is something that it is upsetting. It's upset me badly in the past. And then I found the hide button. A wise man, Daniel Cooper, said, ignore them and hide them. How do I do that? Anyway, I found the hide button. Now, if I see any nasty comments, I always used to bite. Sometimes I'll just leave it there and answer. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that's better. It's been brewing for a few minutes. So yeah, sometimes I'll leave it there and just put a nice reply on, because you know it's more comments, it's more interaction. That algorithm you mentioned earlier likes interaction, so leave it. And if they want to look silly, let them. There have been times when I've reacted really badly in the past, which I'm not terribly proud of. Nowadays, I'm trying to simply either answer nice and sensibly and reasonably, or just hide them from my channel. When you hide someone from your channel, they might not necessarily know that they've been hidden, because excuse me, I've got very dry lips at the moment, so I might keep doing this. I'm not being a tart, just dry lips. Yes, so they might not even realise they've been hidden, because they can see their comments, just that you can't and nobody else can. So that's got rid of them. The other thing is, when you upload a video to YouTube, you can put in any words that you don't want to see, and it'll automatically block them, or at least put them into the for review folder. So I've put in lots of swear words. What else have I put in? Anything that kept coming up that I was thinking, that's horrible, that really hurts. Like early on, dirty nails. I've had to take that out recently, because everybody's been going, your nails look fab. Thank you, Hollywood Nails, Redditch. So that's what I'm doing. The only things that pop up in my comments to review now tend to be ones where the YouTubers thought, not sure about that one, and I go and look and go, yeah, that's fine. But that's what I've done. I've gradually just got rid of them all. So I've hardly had any for ages. And I'm trying to learn that, not to take it to heart too much, basically. Oh, hang on. Was Chloe asking the question? I've missed a question here. What do you hold your camera with? It's over your crafting area. There's a good one. I'll show you, because as you can probably see, I'm in the crafting area. The laptop is actually on the purple mat as we speak. Hang on. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Ta-da! It's one of those on a big, long, bendy arm. I can do this with. And it's screwed to the windowsill. Now, if you get one of these, get ones that do this instead of the ones that are more like a big hair clip like that, because the ones that are like that tend to break, whereas these don't. It was quite cheap off Amazon. So yes, good question. I've got lights, and I've got a heat lamp and all sorts, all screwed to the windowsill all along here. And my microphone, got a new one actually. It's here. Cute, isn't it? That used to be screwed to the windowsill as well. Please, can you put a Q before you ask a question in the chat, because I'm having trouble keeping up with them. Hi, Hannah. Ever so sorry, someone asked. Get set up with light stands wherever you use. How much would the startup cost? Startup cost? Zero. Honestly, that is one of the questions, and I think that I get asked most. And I think, who was it asked me about this? kit you need. Oh, Adele, Tammy, Linda, and a load of people ask me about this, what kit you need. And can I just say, you've probably already got what you need. One of these, a mobile phone. I started out with filming with this one. I kept it because the camera on it's so good. Bit grubby now, but that is an iPhone 13. It's got a good size memory, that helps. You don't have to keep deleting the videos out of it, but just a phone. And I still film with that iPhone 15 I just showed you. So I would say your bare basics for getting started, Hannah, would be a smartphone, anything from about an iPhone 8 onwards. Sorry, I don't know much about Samsungs and all the others, but anything from, I don't know, a 5-year-old phone onwards, maybe even older than that. Your cameras are good on it. Set them to either 24 or 30 frames per second at 4K. You don't need to go any higher than the 30 frames per second unless you are doing slow motion, which we wouldn't be when we're crafting, would we? 24 frames per second is what most of Hollywood, except slow motion, is filmed at, if that gives you a clue. So if you film at those settings, you can have the sort of quality videos that I do, and you're going to have, you're not going to stuff up the memory on your phone too much either. You don't need to set it any higher than that. And then that also means that when you process your video, you're editing it, you want that set at the same frame rate and also 4K as to what your phone has filmed at. And then when you upload it to YouTube, YouTube will sort it out to 4K as well. And that'll just make everything go nice and smoothly in your editing too. It doesn't have so much to process. In addition to that, going forward, I would say there's a couple of things. If you once you've got the budget to do it, you should get the first one, which is almost essential, I think, is a thingy to hold your phone with. Mine was about £25, £30, something like that, off Amazon. You can probably get cheaper, to be honest, but make sure it's quite a sturdy one with that proper pulley outy grip thing, rather than as I said, that one, because they break. As you progress, I would say the next thing to invest in is a microphone, because the mic on your phone is pretty good but could be better. So the microphone I was using till recently, again, was about 30 or 40 quid off Amazon. It was just an ordinary little, just it fitted in another one of these grippy arm things above my desk. And that was fine. You just plug it into your phone and away you go. But your sound quality improves a lot when you've got one of those. Having said that, when I've forgotten to plug it in, I've been able to edit and improve my sound up to nearly the same standard, just in CapCut that I use to edit the videos afterwards. So you can manage without one, really. But I would say if you're going to invest a little bit more, do a bit of an upgrade, microphone would be your next thing. And then finally start adding lights. I've got a cheap ring light that was from Amazon. I've got a desk light up here that I use instead of the ring light a lot of the time. And because I'm doing a live now, I've got another little light over here, but I sort of got a bit obsessed with lights. There you go. So, yeah, I believe, because I've seen reflections in their resin, that even Julie at Pouring Your Heart Out with 500,000 subscribers is still filming with her phone. So you can get by, use what you've got already for starters. You don't need to go crazy. So startup costs, just the craft materials really, which you'd probably be buying anyway, and then use your phone. The editing software I use, as I said earlier, is CapCut. The free version of that's amazing. There's lots of free editing software out there. The only thing I would suggest you get is a laptop or a bigger screened iPad or something, just because it's easier to edit on a bigger screen. If you've already got a laptop or a PC, then you're sorted. So hopefully that helps Hannah's question. Malula, I don't know why they do it either. Chloe, I don't know. I thought you assumed you just typed in at the bottom. Sorry. Oh, there you go. April said use the @ and then the name. Got it. Hi, APO. Hi, Coral Marine. Have I missed anybody arriving? Well, I've been too busy talking as usual. That is my job to talk today, isn't it? Can you use a professional mic for music on videos? Oh, professional mic that you normally use for music. Yeah, I think any mic, as long as you can plug it in. Should be fine. Bluetooth mics for phones work, yeah. This works. See these little earbuds? I've only got one in, so I hear if Mark's coming up the stairs with another drink for me. But these work. I don't know why I've got it in. I've got no sound on now, have I? Take it out, put it back in its little thing. It's one of those. It's a cheap one. So that works as well. Put it back in its doobry. It'll charge up then. Yeah, Bluetooth mics work as well. I've got one of those little cheap headset thing that like call centers use. That works. My frog light. It's good. Oh, it's good, isn't it, Smarty? You can dim it as well. It was a bit too bright last time I did this. How much is CapCut? Can't remember. There's a free version. Start with the free version anyway. First, Lisa. You'll be staggered how many how many features there are in the free version of CapCut. It's very well stocked. What am I paying? Is it something like about £10 a month or something? It's not silly money anyway, but try the free version first and then click the upgrade button and it'll tell you what the pricings are. I'm finding it very good, and the extrovert things in there. There's a what they call transcript editing, which is basically the text comes up on the screen. You can cut all the bits that you don't want and all the silences by just swiping and deleting, and it does a load of editing for you. It's sped things up a lot, and that is a pro feature. Off the top of my head, I think it's about £10 a month. Yeah, John, there's Temu, Amazon, all sorts. If for microphones, the one I've just bought an Elgato Neo one, and it was about, if I'd bought them separately, they would have been about £70. I bought a load of kit as a set. Yeah, Splice I've heard is good too. Yeah, there's so many free and cheap video editings out there. It's finding one that suits you really. Yes, you can use CapCut on your phone or your iPad. It's a bit fiddly, like anything on a small screen is, but of course you can. Yeah. CapCut took away audio voice from the recording editing options on my free version. Not if you do it on the desktop version, it won't, Sandy. If you go in on your web browser instead, you'll have voiceover and screen recording and all sorts. It'll still be in the free version. Yeah, good idea, Gert. Yeah, the voice recorders on phones are pretty darn good. Can you use what on your phone, Lisa? Lisa, was that the question about CapCut? Because yes. Never bought tech on Temu. I've bought some with mixed results. I've got a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 I treated myself to recently, which obviously you buy straight from DJI Hasselblad. It was an expensive bit of kit that I decided to treat myself to for when I'm filming out and about. And I bought various holders, like a big magnet one to go on the car, one on a sucker, all sorts of different things from Temu. Only about half of them are any good, so they've just gone straight in the bin. They just don't even hold the camera. So the most recent one I bought was from AliExpress, because DJI don't make one of these things. So I bought one from AliExpress. That's fine. So it's a bit potluck, but people seem to do quite well. Do I use a resin mixer, says Zoe. I've got 3 and I never use them. I don't have any problems with my hand. I know some people have problems with their hands, and so they're a godsend for stirring. And some people like to be able to leave them stirring while they walk off and things like that. I don't get on with them at all, so I just don't use them. But I know a lot of people do, so it's just me being awkward probably. Edit the sound from the video. Sandy, that's why I would use it on the desktop somehow. Definitely, you're right. It's just too fiddly on a phone. Hi, Lola. Okay, I think I've caught up again. So let's see what else I've got. I'm having a bad hair day. Like my glasses will keep it. Do you like my new glasses, by the way? There we go, another new pair of glasses. So I think I've I think I've caught up on the questions. Forgive me if not. Like I said earlier, stick a Q in front of it and post it again if I've missed you. Right, let's go back to my list. I had a lot of questions about actually setting up a channel aside from the kit. Kit-wise, you need very little. The only other thing really that obviously is vital, you're going to need, yes, me too, Hannah. You are going to need something to edit with, obviously. And in my case, I do use CapCut. Now, the other things you need when you're setting up your channel, and again, if you want, thank you, Wendy. If you want, I'll do a video on this as well. There's lots of videos out there. In fact, a lot of info generally out there on how to set up a YouTube channel, but I can find very little on how you set up a YouTube channel for crafting. So there's these questions you've been asking me, like the top-down filming, like the what microphones to get. Seems the glasses are going down well, thank you. There's also things that, you know, you read about doing your video descriptions and stuff. We have a whole set of different problems with video descriptions because we've got to put all the links for all the products that we've got, you know, where people can buy them from and all that sort of thing. So, and there's settings that are different for us as well. So at some point I will do a video on this because, again, it's different and I can't find anything out there for it. So, yeah, that question that many of you asked, I will do something on that separately. There's things about setting it up right and using good imagery, and then a whole load of things that you can put in your settings so that you don't have to put them in every time. You can get it to default to some of the settings that you want and some of the information that you put into your description and all that sort of thing that will save you so much time. So I will, oh, thanks, Hannah. So I will do you a proper video on that at some point. This is what I'm struggling to find time to do everything. I really am, but I really, really want to do that. I want to do a whole series of videos on this YouTube setup based on the questions you've been asking me. So I am going to run this back later and sit and pick out the questions as they're coming up on the screen. It's over here, isn't it? Oh, I really must mirror my screen. I'll add them to this list, and that will be the basis for some actual videos. What category do you select? Yeah, that's a really good question. Now, the categories don't matter too much, Sandy. All that's for is, and same with tags and stuff nowadays, it's just particularly in the early days when you're new and YouTube's thinking, well, who do I show this video to? What's it all about? Picking the nearest category that you can, because there's only a short list, isn't there? And then putting some tags in, but not spending all day on it. That helps YouTube to know who to push your videos out to. So I put mine under how to and style for the mini scenes GB channel. And I think, do I put people? I think I put people on the Life of an Older YouTuber channel. And I think I've got how to and style on the Tracy's Random Stuff one as well. But on those two channels, I do have to stop and look and think, oh, is that right on this video? Because they vary a lot. I might need to change it. But I do on the on mini scenes, I do just leave it on how to and style. Lula's unsure about the hashtag and the @ in the titles. Hashtags help people to search for it and will help YouTube to know what your video is about. @ will actually tell that whoever that is that you've tagged them in that video properly. So, you know, if you go into your YouTube studio, it says there's an option for what's it called? Mentions. That's it. At the top of your screen, it'll say mentions. If somebody's put @ mini scenes GB or @ Tracy Lippett Life an Older YouTuber or whatever, it will pop up on my mentions tab. So if you absolutely want to draw that person's attention to the fact that you've given them a mention, then use the @. Use it sparingly though, because I've had to hide somebody who does it in every single video. And it's got nothing to do with me, that video. It's of no relevance to me whatsoever. It's got nothing to do with my niche. They've just latched onto me and just keep putting @ mini scenes GB on the end. I don't know why. So I tend to only do it if it's like, say, a specific crafter has inspired me. Like, what should we say? Wendy. When Wendy at Toonpish has sent me some inlays, and I've got some of her Tiny Turner chameleon powders using, and I'm basically doing something that's like a homage to something she's actually recently demonstrated. I will say very often, as inspired by Wendy from Toonpish, and thank her very much for all the stuff she's sent. And I might then put at Toonpish Crafts in my title or in the description, not in both. So be very sparing with it. I tend to do it if I'm demoing into resin molds for them. I'll put at into resin. Does that answer that question? 43. It's 47 people watching. I'm getting scared now. I'm glad all aboard. I'm glad it helps. I'll try and make a habit of doing this if you're finding it useful, but I will get those videos made for you as well. What point can you start working with brands? Great question, Hannah. As soon as you like. There are some that you can just email them, or you go onto their site and there's a button you can click to become an affiliate, and they'll either accept you or they won't. Some will accept at a very, very low level. I think BB Craft is the record at the moment. I think they'll accept people from like just 100 subscribers or something. So it varies a lot. You'll also get to a point once you get past like 3, 4, 5,000 subscribers where they start approaching you. So don't let it get in your way. Have a look at some of your favourite suppliers and see if they've got a button marked affiliate, and click on it. And it could be that it's one of these that you apply to, and you'll almost automatically get accepted once you've got going, basically, and your channel looks like you mean business. So you've got a few videos on there and a few subscribers. Others, they will reject you until you've got quite a lot. But have a look. They all vary so much. So have a look on their website. It'll either be at the top in that sort of bar where there's like contacts and all that, or it'll be right at the bottom in all the small print at the bottom of the screen where there's all those links like contact us and work with us and things like that. Look for a button that says something like work with us or affiliate, and click on it and see what it says. But don't be frightened to jump in and have a go, because some will take you on very, very early on because they like to support newer YouTubers. How many subs do you have before making £10 per video? It's got nothing to do with the amount of subscribers, how much you make. It's a good question, Hannah. I've been asked that before, actually. As soon as I monetised my first month, I think I made about £60. But I've got videos that to this day have only made about £2. And then I've got another video that's gone berserk recently, and I think I'm heading for £1,000 on it. I've had a bit of a record month as a result. So it's not the subscribers, number of subscribers, or the number of views, it's the watch hours. And the reason that, because what you're talking about there is the actual Google AdSense payments. That is the payments from YouTube for the adverts that they run during your videos. And so it's based on how long they watch, therefore how many videos they see. If they've got YouTube Premium so they don't see any video adverts, then you get paid a cut of the YouTube Premium money. So that doesn't matter. That's okay. People with ad blockers should be hung, drawn and quartered because they're stealing from us. She says, getting contentious, but it's true. So yeah, you want them to watch for as long as you can, and as many of them to do that as you can, and that's what pays the money. Now, also, the type of adverts that you're going to get on your channel are dictated by the type of content that you're watching, that you're showing rather. So on a crafting channel, you'll get X amount per advert because they'll be advertising things, lifestyle things, craft things, home things, stuff like that. Probably. I'm saying probably because I've got YouTube Premium. I don't see the adverts, so I'm guessing that's the sort of thing they're pushing out. Whereas if you're a tech channel and so you're advertising things like this, maybe the percentage that they're paying for the advertising is higher. If you're advertising cars, holidays, things like that. If that's the sort of adverts they're putting in amongst your channel, you're going to get a higher percentage. But then again, would you get as many sales? So it's actually it's a great question, and it's a very, very difficult one to actually answer because it varies. But to give you some idea, my first month monetized 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. No, I think I was up to about 6,000 watch hours by the time I hit the 1,000 subscribers, something like that. I got about £60. So I hope that kind of answers the question, but there's so many variables, and it varies from month to month as well. I've had months drop as low as £300 in this last year, and I've had months as high as, I think it's going to be nearly 900 this month. And that is of course in addition to the other income streams, the commission from the affiliate deals and various other things that come in as a result of YouTube. So don't think it's all about the actual YouTube payment. There's so much more beyond it than that. I hope that answered it. It was a bit waffly, but hey, got some people heading out now. Oh, crikey, we've been going for an hour. Question, do I have to pay tax? Deb, technically correct answer, yes. Should we just leave it there? How they would find out, I don't know, but I will be paying tax on my YouTube income this year. Yes, you should account for everything. However, don't forget there's a lot of things you can offset. Me buying my... Sorry, I lost the sound there, didn't I? No, the Discord link is not in my video description because then we'd have everybody wanting to join it. And the channel, it's not my Discord. It's the group's Discord, and it is specifically aimed at new YouTubers or people wanting to start a YouTube channel specifically for crafting. So we have to gatekeep it a little bit just to make sure that it's only people that it's relevant to that are joining. So anybody who wants to join our little Discord group, it's called Crafty YouTubers United, then please drop me an email at miniscenesgb@gmail.com. I'll put that up on the screen for you in a moment as well before we finish, and that link is actually on my video description too. So drop me a line and I will send you the proper invite. Sorry, I hope I didn't lose too much when, you know what I did? I touched my microphone and there's an on-off button on the top of it. And you just realised it's new. Who else we got? We got some new people coming in. Oh. Yeah, I think also Julia and April can probably invite people to the group as well. If I'm not around, and Jenna, just drop them a line. Anybody who's not on Discord, if you get the invite, you'll click on it and it'll offer you the chance to join Discord. Susie Q wants to know, do YouTube charge for a channel? No, they don't. It's free. Thank you for that one. That was a nice, easy one to answer. Chloe, Discord is basically, it started out as a chat facility for gamers, but it can do a multitude of other things nowadays. Now, we just use it as a group chat. With lots of separate topics set up. So if you want tech help, or if you want some feedback on your video, there's a separate thread, or if we're organising a collaboration, there's a separate thread for it so that we can communicate on certain topics. But basically, we just use it as a moral support, hang out, help each other out, look out for each other, that sort of thing. So if anybody in this group is thinking of starting a YouTube channel for crafting, or already has one for crafting, then please do drop me a line at that email address. Where are you? Tracy, no sound. That was when I lost it earlier. So sorry about the sound. That was just total incompetence. Tax question. Yes, you do need to account for all your income and outgoings, but don't forget there's a massive things that you can offset against it. If I pay tax on my YouTube, it's going to be minimal. Because of buying lights, cameras, microphones, my phone, because that is my camera, this notepad, my laptop, these boards, shelves. Not sure about the light. I might, don't know. But there's a lot of things I still have to pay for. So I do offset everything that I legitimately can against tax. And it generally, I spend too much. Don't tell Mark, but it wipes out the profits. No, it didn't like being wobbled. John, look, let me show you this microphone. It's a lovely little thing. But look where the on-off button is. Oh, hang on. That's it there. That white light. So every time I touch it, did you see it go red? That was it turning itself off. Ah, sorry. Let's see what else we got. Sound dropped on the tax question. I don't know if you probably don't know this, Lynn. I used to train financial advisors for a living. So general summary is, yeah, account for everything. You should be paying tax on everything. But do make sure you offset everything that you legitimately can as well. I hope you've all got me now. Am I synced now? After all that time, I'm finally synced. Oh, crikey. Any more questions? Any more questions? Yes, Lynn, you're right. Most of the equipment and crafting, in fact, all of the equipment and crafting supplies you buy for the channel are tax deductible. And I'm still finding, even though I get so much free stuff sent through, I still have to buy a lot. In the UK, you can also, if you're using your home as your workspace as well, you can claim a certain amount against things like gas, electric, and so on too. So, and your mobile phone bill, if you're using that for your business, a certain amount of that you can. So make sure you can. Um, in the US, all the offsets have to be only for business. Yes, absolutely right. Over here in the UK too, but you have to apportion them. This is all for business. As you've seen, I've even got 2 phones. So this is all for business. I'm quite particular about it because you don't want to get caught out. Can't use the phone for anything else. Yeah, I've got 2. Here you can offset a percentage of it if you need to. That's hard to quantify, but my phone is almost exclusively, my main phone is almost exclusively for business, and the other phone is just a backup. So I can upset mine. Husband's an accountant. Excellent. That's a godsend, Lynn. I tell you what, I'm dyscalculic, so you can imagine me trying to keep track of numbers. When it's quiet at the museum and one of my colleagues is sat on the collection centre entrance desk, looking slightly bored, I tend to give them a little notepad with a load of numbers in that I've written down and say, "Can you add these up for me?" Or Mark ends up doing it, one or the other. Oh, Adele, a good financial advisor. Everybody needs one of those. Even having trained them in the past myself, I've got one that I use. Hence why I managed to retire so damned early. Marvellous. Because I know so much about it that I know a good one when I see one, and it's far better for me to just let him get on with it than me to spend my time on it. I was synced when I was silent. Well, how stupid. Ah, no, that's because you didn't know what I was synced to. Ha ha ha. How do you come up with unique or otherwise craft ideas? I carry a notepad around with me, and if I have a harebrained idea, I write it down and keep one by the bed, because I do tend to get strange ideas in the middle of the night. Not that's craft ideas in the middle of the night, and I can get them out of my head and go back to sleep if I write it down. But also, sometimes something will turn up, and I'll think, "Oh, I could do a thing with that." So it could be just something like the bottle of the. Did you see the bottom of that tonic water bottle? I suddenly realised I'd make a really good silicone inlay. So I get funny things like that. But also, I watch other people's videos and see them doing something with a thing, and think, "Oh, that's a great idea. I wonder if I could do it like this and using that material though." And if I do that, I try to obviously credit them for inspiring the idea. But honestly, I've got a list of about 500 odd ideas. The other thing is, and this is a big tip for you all, be active in your community. I hang out for at least, I don't know, half an hour or so a day in the Facebook groups for resin craft. See what questions people are asking and if I can help. And I found out by accident that gives me some material fodder. Today, you've asked me questions that have made me think, oh, I'll make a video about that. So people asking questions, also always read your comments I reply to all mine anyway, even if it's just with a thanks. I'll always reply, and I do genuinely read them all. Some of them they will have commented and said, "Oh, I wonder if you could do that," or "Have you tried it like this?" or "So and so does it like the other," and I'll think, "Yeah, I did that in this video. You perhaps you didn't watch it." Sometimes, and but I'll just reply, "Thanks for the tip. Yes, see 10 minutes into the video," things like that. Other times it'll be, "That's a really good question. I don't know." And so that will go onto my list of videos to make. So you lot actually drive my content far more than you probably realise. So being active and actually valuing what your audience are saying, and being proactive about looking out for where you can help people, that is going to be your best material. Where are we? Some people having to head out. Sorry, those who are having to go. Night, night. We've been going for quite a long time. Okay, run out of questions on there. Let's see what else we got asked. Because I've still got a couple on here. I think, oh, well, we've picked a lot of them up because you've asked the same questions again. Somebody asked about the community tab. Do use it, folks. If you run out of ideas for your videos, pop a question in there. Just say to people, "What would you like me to show you?" Or, "What did you find the most difficult thing when you started resin crafting?" Or, "What do you think this month's hot topic is for resin crafting?" That sort of thing. And then you'll just get so much fodder. People are so forthcoming. Like I said, most of my ideas come from you guys. You're amazing. So the community tab is brilliant for that, and also it makes people realise that you're valuing their input, and that's great for engagement. People have also recently asked me about doing these lives. What does it earn me? Absolutely all. No, I didn't go silent there. I was going to swear. Nothing. Hi, Aldra, if I've pronounced your name right. I hope so. Yeah, live streaming does nothing for me financially that I can directly attribute to it. Having said that, it's fun. And also this building community, like I said, the questions you've been asking me are helping give me some direction in some videos to make to help you all out, and that I know I'll enjoy doing. Even though, I'm self-confessed not an expert, I think I can help and add some value for the next generation of crafters wanting to do YouTube by covering it. So, yeah. So that's, I think, building that community, getting that engagement, getting to talk to people to understand what their questions are. That's where these live streams come in, really. What else? Good, the bad, and the ugly was a question that Susie asked. I think, yes, that's right. Aldra, if you want to join the group, email me. I'll put the email address up on the screen in a moment. Oh, does it? Norwegian. Wonderful. Well, hello, Cat, then. Elder. I like that. That's good. Yeah, drop me an email. I'll put the email address at the end for anybody who wants to join the group Discord for new YouTube crafters. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I've talked about how you deal with some of how I've doing my best to learn with the nasties on YouTube. Don't be scared by that, by the way. It's very, very much in the minority, and you can hide it. And with all your community around you, like you lot, I'm learning to not let it bother me. Honestly, it makes you stronger. It really does. And it is in the tiniest of minorities. The best things that have come out of YouTube for me is constantly learning. I love learning. As a former learning and development specialist, I shouldn't I really? So there's that. But I think the very, very best thing is being able to do what I love doing, share it with people, and as a little byproduct, it's actually making quite a nice income now. I've certainly got a self-funding hobby, which is just awesome. I never thought I'd be in that position. You're right, Gert. As Gert says, ignore the Muppets, except Kermit. We like Kermit. So the support and friendship of all you lot, it's just the best. Yes, okay, Kat, drop me an email. You don't have to be brilliant with Discord, by the way. We've set the group up as absolutely mind-blowingly simple. There's one main chat called General Chat, and then if you want to talk about something in particular, you just look at the list of topic threads or channels, as they're called, click on those and put it in there, and we'll go and have a look and see what we can do to help. It really is as simple as that. Right, I think we should start to call it to a close. We've been well over an hour. Has anybody got any final questions, though? I hope I haven't missed any. Oh, Chloe, don't worry. People won't think you're stupid. People will think you're very brave for having a go. And don't forget, the first few videos you put up, nobody cares, and the chances are nobody's going to see them either. You can always take them down later if you want. I've left mine on because I think it's kind of fun looking back at them. And you are always your worst critic. You'll probably find that you're far better than you think you are. And let's face it, you're going to be far better than somebody who doesn't post one at all. That first video is a big hurdle. When I put my first video up, even Mark didn't watch it. He still hasn't. I don't think he's watched any of my videos, to be honest. And, you know, nobody died. Nothing exploded. The world didn't end. I think it's still probably to this day only got about 100 views. But it's okay. What it does is it gives you a space to learn. So just, as they say, just do it. And as Lula said, if anybody can do it, if she can do it, anybody can. Well, Lula, you know what? You're right, because we all started from zero. We did, and we've all got somewhere with it. So what have you got to lose? So yeah, go for it. And also remember all the people in this Discord group, and it is totally free to join. By the way, there's nothing in it except mutual support for any of us. Most of us are either very new to YouTube or haven't even started a channel, or in the case of a couple of us who've been around for a little bit longer, you know, we'll still admit that we've got a lot to learn, but we're willing to share what we have. So nobody's going to think you're stupid. Trust me. Any question's a good question, but in my books. No, Mark doesn't watch mine, Coral Marine. Was there one? Did I see one last question pop up there? Where is it? Oh, I see. They're going the opposite way now. I've got to find it now. I've got to find it. Sure, I just saw it. There it is. That one. One last question. Can you recommend a good leveling table? Live on a houseboat. Oh, crikey. That's a tricky one, because your level's going to keep. They don't self-level. I use the Let's Resin Perspex ones. They almost look like glass. They're quite substantial, and you adjust all the feet to get it level, but your boat's going to move. So you're going to have a lot of fun. Keep adjusting it, aren't you? But that's the one I use. If it helps. That's a tricky one. Living on a boat, how wonderful. Right, any more final questions? Okay, I'm just going to hang on just for a second, see if there's any final questions. But I think I've picked up. If I've missed any questions at all, while we've been doing this, let me just stick my email address on the screen. There it is. How do I get rid of that question? Oh, hide it. There we are. No, that's not my email address. That's the one we want. So yes, if anybody does want to join the group or email me about anything, that is my email address. So if you've got any more questions after this stream, by all means drop me an email, but probably easier, because I bet it'll be a good question, will be to drop it in the comments below this video, because I'll make sure those are enabled. So then then other people learn from your questions too, if that helps. Where's the chat gone now? Oh, it's fun. Ah, Mini-air, that's it, Susie. Why are people trying to do longer and longer videos? What's the purpose of that? That's a really good question, actually. It's a hot topic, actually, at the moment. So I will spend a couple of minutes talking about that. The tide is turning on YouTube. What we've jokingly called the Mr. Beastification of things is the tide's turning away from that. People, particularly in our sort of niche, are looking for longer, more relaxed videos. They're enjoying the storytelling, and I'm getting the best watch hours off longer videos. So I think the tide is turning in the way people watch videos. So that's why. But as I said, the video should be as long as it takes to tell the story, no longer. Don't pad it out, and no shorter, because people don't like that. Yes, Susie, your clock clips. I asked. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Could you elaborate what you mean by clock clips? I'm hoping to answer Susie's question. I see a lot of you are needing to head out. I am planning to finish shortly, but I would like to stay just for a minute and see if I can help Susie with this clock clips question, because I really don't know what you mean, Susie. So if you'd explain in chat. Otherwise, I'll say goodbye to everyone else, and if there's enough questions come in, I'll do another one of these. But I will try, and I'm trying really hard to make time to make some actual videos on these topics that you've been raising. I'll do my best for you, so watch this space and be patient. I'm a bit up to my neck in it. So, yeah, bye everyone. I'm just going to wait here to see if Susie can elaborate on this watch clock clip thing. Actually, I'll tell you what, Susie, grab me in Discord later, because I could do it going now anyway. Putting the faces on mantle clock molds. No idea. I've never tried a mantle clock molds. Clock mechanisms, you just poke them through the middle and stick the hands on the other side. I did demo it on my clock video a little while ago. Next time I do a clock, I'll make sure I do a more close-up one on the fitting the mechanisms, if that's what Susie means. Oh, good, Hannah. I mean, I hope I've answered everybody's questions. Like I said, if there's any more, stick them in the comments. Then everybody can see the answers. I am absolutely not an expert. Hi, Laurie. I'm absolutely not an expert. I never will pretend to be. If some of what I've said is utter rot, I do apologise. It's what I do and what I believe to be the best way for me to do it. If that helps all of you, then I'm delighted. I'm still learning myself, and I'm very happy to carry on sharing. Okay, I really am going to say goodbye now. Oh yes, Glitter and Glitz Michelle does do the mantle clocks. I've not tried them, but anyway. Susie, if I can help any more, just drop me a line in Discord. I know you've got my contact in there. Oh, the ready-made clocks that go into the resin. Yeah, there's that's in my video that I did on clocks recently, Susie. One of my 10K subscriber ones. So take a look at that, and then let me know if you've got any more questions. You can grab me on Discord. Right, I really am going now. I haven't even finished my drink. Thank you, everyone. It's been so good to see you all. And gosh, you've been here for an hour and a half. I can't believe it. If there's enough more questions come in, I will do another one of these. But hopefully, I'll pick up a lot more detail on the question specifically. I'll do a little video on each particular one. I'll probably put it on my Life of an Older YouTuber channel, because I think it will sit there better, and just refer you across to that, if that makes sense. So I'll see you all. Hi, Raywu. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Like I said, if there's any more questions, just lob them into the comments below, or drop me an email, or grab me on Discord. Thanks then, everyone. Night, night all.